On behalf of your Marion County Board of County Commissioners, I am Chairwoman Bryant, and I am joined today by Sheriff Billy Woods, Tim Thomas, representing Brooklyn's Backyard and Big Hammock Brewery, and also an employer of almost 40 Marion County residents, Ben Marciano, Zone Health and Fitness, and Ben's zone employs almost 110 employees, and then Sherry Kendrick, Limelight Hair and Nail Studios. Last night, Governor DeSantis put into motion phase 1 of his 3-phase plan to reopen Florida. We are grateful for his leadership and dedication to Florida throughout this COVID-19 event. We are happy to see many businesses able to progress towards a sense of normalcy, but we are urging Governor DeSantis for more. Unlike many of our neighbors, Marion County has maintained a COVID-19 positivity rate of 3.9%, which is important to note as Marion County is home to many persons age 65 and older. Even within our retired and vulnerable communities, we have managed this COVID-19 event with success. It was through our strict compliance to all executive orders and CDC guidelines, Marion County was able to get a handle on this virus and prevent the surges we were projected to see. To date, we have 175 positive cases of COVID-19, with only 5 of those cases being hospitalized at this time. Our daily percentage of ER visits, which mention cough, fever, or shortness of breath, peaked in mid-March and have since returned to the early levels of early 2020. At this juncture, more of our community is suffering with the loss of revenue and foreseeable future of permanent unemployment than we are this virus. Marion County is home to 258 hair salon establishments employing almost 1,100 individuals, 61 gyms and fitness establishments that provide almost 450 local jobs, and over 612 restaurants with almost 10,000 employees. Our restaurateurs will not survive on a 25% seating capacity. We are urging Governor DeSantis to allow us to implement the Reopen Florida Task Force Phase 1 plan for our restaurants, gyms, and personal services. We would like to see our restaurants able to operate in accordance with the Reopen Florida Task Force, which would allow them to operate at no more than 50% capacity with appropriate social distancing and a minimum of 6 feet separating parties. Parties would not exceed 10 people. Reservation and call-ahead models would be considered. Outdoor dining should also be prioritized. The same request is being made for gyms to allow them to operate at no more than 50% capacity, so long as they separate patrons by at least 6 feet and follow strict social distancing and disinfecting practices. Likewise, the same request is being made on behalf of salons, so they would be allowed to reopen to 50% occupancy so long as they schedule patrons by appointment only to avoid any groups. They would be required to sanitize after each use, wear face masks, post signage to discourage congregating, and remove all frequently touched inventory in shared spaces. Items such as product, magazines, service menus, etc. Marion County's elected leaders and officials are capable of making independent decisions for our residents, visitors, and business people, and have a plan to do so that will continue to slow the spread of this virus while keeping our families, patrons, and neighbors safe with the blessing of our governor. Our priority is the health and well-being of every individual who lives in our amazing county. We are asking Governor DeSantis to trust us to implement cautious reopening phases that make sense to our current state so our citizens can get back to work and we can put an end to their financial suffering and economic hardships. With his blessing to take the lead on our county, we can continue to save lives while we also continue to save local businesses. Just as counties coordinated with the governor's office on shelter-at-home orders before the executive order to address their specific needs, counties should again be able to coordinate with the governor's office on advancing recovery phases to meet our specific needs here in Marion County. I want everyone to take a look at these folks that are standing behind us today and think about not just them, but all of the other businesses that are open, that are represented in each one of these categories. And then when you take a look at these folks, think about the people that they employ and their families. That is why we are imploring Governor DeSantis to please implement the Phase 1 approach that was suggested by the Reopen Florida Task Force. Thank you. Julia asked if we were going to be sending a letter, and we absolutely are sending a letter that will go out this afternoon or first thing in the morning.
When do you hope to get a response from him?
Hey, so we know that nothing changes until Monday, and the question was, when do we hope to get a response from the governor? We know that as of right now, with the executive order that went out yesterday, nothing changes until Monday, so we are hoping to get a response from the governor by Monday.